Earlier in the year I pulled together a roundup of sports tourers for 2021 which people seem to enjoy, but it did put the cat amongst the pigeons in terms of what a sports tourer is, and there is definitely a difference of opinion either side of the Atlantic. So I thought I'd make another video, this time concentrating on 2022 bikes, as there are a few new models filling holes in manufacturers' ranges that I think are worth looking at. Most of the models I featured in the 2021 roundup are still relevant, so I won't go back over those. You can treat this video as an addition to the last one. I'm also going to relax the criteria a little bit too, to accommodate a slightly broader interpretation of the sector. This is not, of course, an exhaustive list, and I'm not ranking the bikes in any way. Going alphabetically, let's start with a manufacturer who didn't appear last time, Aprilia. Whilst there's no real out-and-out tourer in the range, the Tuono V4 1100 E5 comes closest. It's got a more upright riding position, and the fairing and screen offer more protection. The 1077cc V4 engine is going to make light work of long distance journeys with 172 horsepower and 121 Nm of torque, and the fully adjustable sack suspension will make it a fun journey for when the roads get twisty. For this style of bike there's a reasonably decent pillion perch, and there are a number of factory luggage options available, including panniers, side bags and tank bags. This is probably a bike more suited to solo touring where performance is high on the agenda. Nonetheless, it's a lovely looking bike with a price tag of £15,500. BMW were well taken care of in the last video, but the R1250 RT kept getting a mention in the comments. Obviously some RT owners were a little bit put out that I didn't include it. But that's because I would class this bike as an out-and-out tourer. But let's not get hung up on categorization. It is a supremely comfortable and capable tourer with all the kit you would ever need, but it's still not making the list. I always like to offer a couple of left field choices, which is why the CF-Moto 650 GT appears next. CF-Moto are a Chinese company producing motorcycles, quads and UTVs, and they are striving to break the mould of poorly made Chinese products with their range. In fact, they partnered with KTM back in 2013 to produce a small capacity bikes for the Chinese market. The 650 GT's biggest selling point is its price. At £5,999, the middleweight tourer offers big name components like Bosch electronics, Metzeler tyres and Jiahuan brakes. It's got two riding modes, a TFT screen, LED lights and many of the features you'd expect in higher priced machinery. The 60 horsepower and 56 Nm of torque from the parallel twin might not set your pulse racing, and at 218 kilograms it's not a light machine, but for pure value for money I'd thought I'd include this bike. The company seems to be working hard at raising the bar for Chinese bikes, and if you're on a low budget and want a brand new sports tourer with factory luggage, it might be worth a look. Ducati next, and having already covered what I think is a beautiful sports tourer in the previous video with the Supersport 950, I did want to include another model that uses the same power plant. The Multistrada V2 is the new name for the Multistrada 950, but it's had a big overhaul for 2022. Whilst it's true to say that this has a more adventure touring look about it, it is without doubt a very accomplished road bike. It comes in two guises, the base model V2 and the higher spec V2S. The latter gets the Skyhook electronic suspension, quick shifter, cruise control and TFT screen. For the purposes of this video, it's the travel trim that stands out with its panniers, heated grips and centre stand. Ducati have managed to shave 5 kilograms from the previous model and have worked at improving its already good ergonomics. The 830mm high seat has been reshaped for better comfort and the foot pegs lowered for less leg bend. You can opt for a low version with a different seat and rear shock that brings the seat height down to 790mm. The lighter 937cc Tesla Stretta engine pushes out 113 horsepower and 94 Nm of torque, which is plenty for both relaxed and more spirited touring. I think it's a great looking bike and it could be all you ever need on the road. Honda got very short shrift in the previous video, but things have changed in this sector with the introduction of the NT 1100. While some would argue that it's not a true sports tourer, it does fill a gap in the range and it looks like it fulfills most of the criteria. Honda have used the well-proven 1100 parallel twin motor from the Africa Twin, as well as some of the electronics and the frankly brilliant DCT gearbox. In fact, you could view the NT 1100 as a squished Africa Twin with 17-inch wheels. The styling hasn't quite matched what we saw in the CB4 concept, but I still think it's a nice looking machine, but it has divided opinion. Having been riding an Africa Twin for over a year now, I can attest to how smooth and strong the engine is. 100 horsepower may not seem a lot on a bike of this size, but with 104 Nm of torque on tap, it's surprisingly quick. I've never once felt I've needed more power on the road. The NT1100 comes with panniers fitted as standard, which is good to see, and with the price of $11,999 it looks to be great value. I'm a massive fan of the DCT gearbox, and the bike equipped with it comes in £1,000 higher at £12,999. Standard equipment is high, and as well as the panniers it comes with heated grips, cruise control, USB and accessory sockets, a rear carrier for a top box and a centre stand. Like the Africa Twin, the NT1100 offers Apple CarPlay and Android Auto via the TFT screen, which gives you plenty of navigation options as well as the usual music and phone controls. The fairing, which is reminiscent of the XADV, looks like it offers plenty of protection, as does the 5-way adjustable screen and deflectors. The parallel twin motor is pretty frugal, so the 20-litre tank should offer a good range, with Honda suggesting 400 km or 250 miles. I shall be giving the bike a thorough review soon, so keep an eye out for that on the channel. It's good to see Honda back in this sector, and I'm sure the NT1100 is going to be a good seller. Kawasaki appeared in the 2021 Sports Tourer Roundup with 2 bikes, and although I ignored the Versus models, people in the comment section didn't. I think the other bikes stuck closer to the Sports Touring ideal, but having had a rework for 2022, I thought I'd include the 650 Versus this time around. The 649cc 68 horsepower parallel twin remains unchanged, but the 2022 model gets a newer, larger fairing and screen, so it more closely resembles its bigger sibling. New LED lighting appears, as well as an all-new full-colour 4.4 inch TFT screen, which features smartphone connectivity. From a safety point of view, the bike now also comes with Kawasaki's KTRC 2-mode switchable traction control. £7,799 will get you onto the base model, which looks to be great value. The Tourer, which includes a pair of 28-litre clean mount panniers with inner bags, hand guards and a tank pad, brings the price to £8,599, and the fully loaded Grand Tourer, which gets LED fog lights, a 47-litre top box, taller windscreen, USB port and a GPS mount, comes in at £10,049. Back to Italy for the next bike, and I wasn't sure if I would include it or not, but as Moto Guzzi describe it as a sports tourer, I thought why not? Just look at it. The V100 Mandello not only looks gorgeous, but the new 1042cc transverse V-twin produces 115 horsepower and 105 Nm of torque, which should make it fun to ride too. Many people will be pleased to see a shaft drive, and the V100 Mandello is fitted with Öhlins Smart EC 2.0 semi-active suspension too. When paired with the 4 riding modes, 3 engine maps, tunable traction control, engine braking and specific suspension settings for each map, it looks like the bike will offer real rideability. Adaptive LED lights and cruise control also feature. The standout though may be the adaptive aerodynamics, which is the first to appear on a production bike. There are wind deflectors on each side of the tank, which are controlled via the bike speed and the riding mode. When fully extended, Moto Guzzi say they offer 22% more wind protection. This and the electronically adjustable windscreen, 5-inch TFT display and higher handlebars push the bike into the sports tourer territory. There's no information about luggage yet, nor is there actually confirmation of price and availability, but it's certainly a bike to look out for in 2022. Onto a bike that will definitely be available in 2022 and hits all of the marks needed for a sports tourer, that bike being the Suzuki GSX S1000 GT. Based around the GSX 1000 platform, this again stunning looking machine offers a real performance option from its 150 brake horsepower 999cc 4-cylinder motor, combined with a chassis designed for a blend of long distance comfort and sharp handling. The bike features 3 rider modes and 5 traction control modes, including one where it can be switched off completely. The Suzuki clutch assist system offers a light feel. The quick shifter and cruise control as standard helps reduce fatigue for long days in the saddle. The KYB suspension is fully adjustable at both ends. 4-piston Brembo monoblocks take care of stopping duties, and the 19-litre tank should offer plenty of range. A brand new 6.5-inch full-colour TFT display offers smartphone connectivity via the free Suzuki MySpin app. This offers easy access to your contacts, maps, music, calendar and phone calls. There's also going to be a choice of third-party apps to further enhance this connectivity. For practicality, there's a handily placed USB port on the side of the display to power external devices. The bike looks like it will offer great value with a retail price of £11,599, and you can of course add plenty of accessories, including the low-profile mount 36-litre side case, which incidentally will take a full face helmet. There's also a touring screen to help deflect even more wind from the rider, making for super comfortable long stints on the motorway. This is another bike that I will be reviewing soon, and I'm really looking forward to covering some miles on it. The newly announced Triumph Tiger Sport 660 brings in the third and final middleweight bike in this video. Based around the 3-cylinder engine first seen in the Trident, the Sport 660 is a taller, more upright adventure sports styled machine with some pretty decent wind protection. I have made a separate video looking at the bike in more detail, and I'll leave a link in the top corner of the screen. It certainly looks like it will compete well in this sector, despite being up against some stiff competition. However, its triple engine distinguishes it and also makes it the most powerful motorcycle amongst its peers. It's got a pretty decent spec too, and with the retail price starting at £8,450, with some of the lowest cost of ownership in its category, the Tiger 660 Sport looks like a good proposition. Now, if I had £1 for every time a certain 3 letters were mentioned in the comments for the 2021 rundown, I'd nearly have enough money to buy pretty much any of the bikes on the list. I didn't include the Yamaha FJR 1300 before, as it's no longer available for sale in the UK, but it continues to be sold in North America, so I've decided to include it for my viewers over the pond, and also to give me a bit of a quieter life. And a fine sports tourer it is too. The muscular 1298cc inline 4 puts out 142 horsepower and a whopping 125 newton meters of torque, which whisks the 642 pound machine smoothly and effortlessly from point A to point B. Traction and cruise control come as standard, as does lean sensitive cornering lights, electronically adjustable suspension with multiple preload and damping presets. A TFT screen is absent, but the LCD dash is clean and easy to read. The integrated hard luggage offers plenty of space and creature comforts such as heated grips, a glove box in the fairing with a 12-volt outlet, and shaft drive top off the list of essentials. There's no denying it's a great looking motorcycle, and at $18,199 you get an immense amount of big sports tourer for your money. So that wraps up this sports tourer run through for 2022. It's not meant to be an exhaustive list by any means. There's no way I could mention everything in one video, but these are what caught my attention. It's good to see some new bikes in the sector, and I look forward to reviewing these individually in early 2022. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If so, a like and a subscribe is appreciated. And until next time, I just want to say thanks for watching. Take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.